Hi everyone, welcome to our Facebook Live. My name's Alyssa and I'm the Marketing Manager here at Katoomba. And today I'm so pleased to be here with Paul from Carbis Business Management. Hi Paul.
Hi everyone.
So good to have you back with us, and we've got, I don't know, maybe a love-hate topic today to discuss, but a very, very important one. So at the moment, we are doing a bit of a series, which is kind of going to be running over about 2 months, and it's already started, and this is obviously a really important piece of it, and it's all about price increases. So we know that it's not everyone's favorite topic. We know that price increases can be scary, but they really are an incredibly important part of a successful business. And so what we're trying to achieve with this series is really give you guys advice from a bunch of different experts around how you can actually tackle this in your business and hopefully make it a little bit less scary and something that's actually quite easy for you to implement. And the reason why I want to get Paul on here today is because we've spoken previously about a really, really interesting strategy that he uses around increasing prices in salons and spas. And so I thought, you know, we've got lots of different things. So do head to our social media channels and check those out. We've been sharing lots of things already, and there'll be lots to come. But I thought Paul's is something I actually hadn't heard before, and so I thought it'd be awesome for him to share that today. Huh?
It's because I made it up.
Oh, there we go. And also, if you guys do have any questions while we're chatting, please just pop them in the comments below, and I'll get Paul to answer those for you. Sure. But yeah, without further ado, Paul, please take it away.
Price increases, hey? Look, topical at the moment for the wrong reason. Topical because we're going through an economic hard time. We're finding lots of salons have been through a real slump, whether it be COVID, whether it be sickness, whether it be staff away, for all of these reasons. We've got wars overseas, we've got shipping problems, and we're on the other side of the world. So for lots and lots of reasons, things are tough. Now, just about every supplier over the last 3 months has put prices up. Okay, whether it be in freight, whether it be in product costs, whether it be whatever, they've put prices up. And some of them have crept them up a little bit. Some of them have, put them up a lot. We've also seen things like our petrol go through the roof, our grocery shopping go through the roof. So even consumables like cotton buds and iPads and tissues have gone up in price. Like everything we've touched in the last 6 months has gone up. And yet many salons are scared to put their prices up. What this means is that they're actually cutting their margins. Because if your suppliers are putting the prices up, your petrol's going up, your rent's going up, your tissues are going up, your consumables are going up, everything's going up. We've also, under this current government, had, I think, 3 basic wage increases in the last 4 or 5 years. We've had 2 extra public holidays this year that owners have had to pay for. So all of these things have cut into your bottom line. Now, for that reason, lots of salons are looking at price rises. Okay. Now, I think that's the wrong reason. I think a good part of every business should be to be increasing your prices regularly. All right. Let me get a couple of things straight. If you're a salon owner listening to this, here's my question. How do you know how much I'm willing to pay for a massage or a facial or a pedicure or a manicure or even brow shape? And the answer is you've got no idea. Okay. And you'll never have any idea until you test the water of how much I'm willing to pay. So forget about the fact that we're in an economic downturn at the moment. As a part of good business practice, we should be regularly putting our prices up. Okay. Now, for a lot of people, they just took a deep breath and went, but our clients, you know what? We've been doing a particular system that I'm going to explain to you today for over 20 years in literally hundreds of salons in Australia and New Zealand. And the number of clients who have complained would be in single figures. The number of clients who really complained have been in single figures. And you might get clients notice, but they're not too concerned about it if you do it the right way. Now, for me, the public knows that prices of everything are going up. If you aren't ridiculous in the way that you put your prices up, they'll accept that as part and parcel. This is the situation we're in. The problem is that we highlight it so much that every client that we serve sees that it's happened.
Yeah.
Right. So, for instance, there were a whole lot of salons that on the 1st of January or the 1st of April, end of financial year, went and put all their prices up across the board by 5%, 10%, 3%, whatever it was. And they bring out new price lists, change it all on their website, and every single customer that goes in those salons knows that there's been a price increase. What's more, they announce it.
Yep.
We are putting our prices up. So now absolutely every single client knows that there's been a price increase. And so absolutely every client now looks at their prices rather than just concentrating on, I get great service, I love the girl that treats me, it's a great environment, I love the fact that they give me a cup of tea, you know, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Okay. So knowing this, I've always been opposed to cross the board price increases. And I've always been opposed to announcing it. It's enough to have a little disclaimer on your price list, on your price menu, or on your website to say prices may at times go up without notice. So what I developed was a way of testing to, I didn't do it because I wanted to increase prices because economic hardship. I didn't do it because I wanted to swindle people or massive change. I did it because I wanted to maximize profits for the salon owner. And at the time when I came up with it, I was a salon owner myself. So I was trying to maximize my own profits. And what I came up with was the question of, how do I know how much someone is willing to pay for a service? I know I can't do much with my retail because recommended retail price is set by the suppliers. So, you know, I've got to stick to that pretty much. So all that's left for me is my services. Now, I don't know how much Alyssa is willing to pay for a really good massage. And until I start testing the water of how much Alyssa is willing to pay, I'll never know.
No.
Right. So I developed a system called price cycling. So I want you to think of a tornado. It starts off here with a little, and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. Okay. Now, the reason I started doing this was because I moved from the old, this is a long time ago, when we used to have the books with pencils and an eraser, and we used to make all our appointments with our books.
Or pencil and paper.
Yeah. And yeah, that's how old I am. But many salon owners will be nodding and
absolutely.
That's how we used to do it. And then came along computer systems like Katoomba. Now, at the time, it wasn't Katoomba for me, but Katoomba is about the best one I've come across who does this. And what happened was, all of a sudden, I realized that I could measure the number of treatments I was doing in a particular sector. Like I could measure the number of pedicures that we were doing over a day, a week, a month, or a year. I could measure the number of massages we were doing. I could measure the number of facials or the number of peels or the number. I could be really specific. I could do needling or I could do whatever it was. Now, knowing that information, I started to print a report of all the treatments we did, say, for the month of, we've just finished September. All right. So how many massages, how many this, how many that, how many waxes, how many leg waxes, how many bikinis, got the idea? And armed with that, I picked one sector. Now, most salons in the country, the biggest treatment sector that they will do is eyes, lash tints, brow shapes. And so what I did was I would put up my prices by a pinch or a penny, $1, $2. So not enough to upset anyone. But if I'm doing 50 or 60 of those treatments a week, that's $60 times, let's say, 50 weeks of the year. Well, that's $3,000 just by putting my prices up by $1 or $2. Now, here's my question. Alyssa, if I normally charge $20 for a brow shape and I put it up to $22, would that be enough for you to choose not to come back?
It's actually happened to me, and it's quite funny because you start to question how much you were charged before. So it's happened a couple of different times with different services where I've been like, was it 65 or was it 67 last time? Oh, I don't know. So I just like ignore it, swipe my card and I move on, because also $2 for me, like it would have to go up a significant amount for me to go through the rigmarole of going and finding another business. And you actually really can't remember, particularly when it's not round numbers. Like if it's not, you know, if it was 65, it's easy to remember. But if you were like 64 to like 67, I'd be like, oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
So it
but
worked.
The other thing is most of us now just go tap.
Yeah, I don't.
We don't even look.
Yeah, they kind of say it and you're like, oh, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, you just tap, you know. So, and back in those days, of course, it was cash. There was loads of cash and not much cards. And so you were more aware of it. But here's my thing. So if I put up all my prices for eyes only, and I do that, and I don't touch anything else on my price list, are my facial clients worried about it? No. Are my leg waxing clients worried about it? No, it doesn't affect them. You see what's happening? So only a sector of my business is affected. And it's only a pinch or a penny, so 99% of them aren't going to even care.
Yeah.
Do I announce that I've put it up? No. I've got every right to do it. You should check your prices if you were that concerned. And for $1 or $2, who cares? No. So people say to me, okay, well, how often do you do this? Because next I'm going to do leg waxing and bikinis. Then I'm going to do all the manicures and pedicures. And then and they're just going to be a pinch or a penny. Not enough that it arouses everyone to go, oh my God, the prices have gone up. Most people won't even know or care, but enough that over a 12-month period, it can be worth thousands of dollars. So if we put up all of our leg and bikini waxing prices by $1, and we do 50 of those, and we do 50 eyes, all of a sudden we've made something like $6,000 or $7,000 extra per year with no extra costs.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, what I do is this tornado effect. So we start off with one sector, then we move to another sector, and then we move to another sector, then we'll do facials, then we'll do all the massages, then we'll do all the body treatments, then we'll do all the, got the idea? And when we've gone right through the whole salon and we're back to the start, I check all my numbers. So people used to ask me, how often would you do this? My answer would be, well, I've always been a bit of a fan of price menus. So I would get 500 printed and we'll start running out. I'd put the price of the next thing up and get some more printed.
Yeah.
So I never did those big runs of 10,000 price lists or anything like that because they were cheaper. I did just enough to get me through maybe a couple of months, and then I'd put up the next sector, change the price on the price menu, and off we go again. Got the idea? So if all my facial prices go up, my massage clients don't care, my waxing clients don't care. If all of my massage prices go up, no one else is worried, only my massage clients. So we're not affecting everyone. So it's only a small sector of what we're doing. and it's only a pinch or a penny. Right. So no one really cares and not many people notice. When I get back to the start, I pull my report that said we used to do 50 eye treatments, and I look at what we did in the month, because I'm about to do it again, and it says, well, we did 52. Obviously, the price increase didn't affect my numbers, so let's do it again.
Mm-hmm.
And the question will be, how many times around can you go? Mm-hmm. And the answer is until it starts to affect your numbers. You got the idea? And so we did this, and I found that over time, lots of sectors weren't affected, and then it might be one sector that my numbers had dropped just a fraction. So I just put a hold on that. I'd reached my peak, and I'd answered the question, how much is Alyssa willing to pay?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Now, the thing we found out about this is that what we were doing is reaching our maximum price for our area, what people were willing to pay for outstanding service, great results, knowledge, good, cool environment, you know, all the rest of it. What were they willing to pay? And once we found out what that limit was, it actually took me a couple of years of cycling it and cycling it and cycling it. And I was always surprised at what that limit was.
Yeah.
Always, every single time. It blew me out of the water what people actually were willing to pay before they started to mention, oh, is that dearer than normal? Or your numbers start to drop back a little bit. Now, the thing is, the people that are going to grizzle over $1 or $2, they're not the people you want in your salon anyway. They're the same people that are going to grizzle about, oh, you know, I paid for an hour's massage and it was only 55 minutes, or they're those people. And so they're not the one, you in some ways you drive them away, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. But it's a better system because you're not announcing that you're continually putting prices up. It means that you're reaching maximum amounts that you can for your services. It means that you're testing the water on a regular basis, which is just good business.
Yes.
And increasing your profits. Now, if it means that hardly anyone notices, or if they do, they don't really care because the amount was so small, where's the problem? And the answer is there isn't a problem. And I quite happily continually put up prices over a number of years and made more money. Now, I think that needs to be done as good business practice, not just because we're in hard times.
Yeah, and not that one-off scary, like all in, everyone's going to notice, have to communicate it. It's just a really nice way of approaching it. Yeah.
What I found was that you were able to absorb little, increases from your suppliers. You were able to absorb freight charges, and you were able to, because you were continually just touching it up along the way. So when a supplier then put up their charges, you weren't then turning around to your entire database and going, we're putting our prices up, because you were already testing what was going on. So for me, it was a much, much better way of doing it. And it's called, I call it price cycling. And like I said, we've literally done it in hundreds of salons with so few complaints that, it's not even worth mentioning. And yet, continually, we were surprised at what people will pay. And it didn't have anything to do with opposition. It had nothing. We were just focusing on what we were doing. And just by that pinch or a penny, we're only talking $1, $2. We're not talking $20 or $15, Unless you're doing something like IPL where it might be $5 or, or needling, it might be $10, something like that. But even then, to go from 250 to 260 for needling, people who are getting it, do they really care?
Mm-hmm.
And so it's an easy way of doing it. Now, if people want more information or me to help them in their salon to set this up, then it's pretty easy to get in touch with me. You can jump on my website or on Instagram or Facebook and look me up, and or email or phone me. It's pretty easy to do. But it's a much better way than announcing and then putting across the board price increases up.
Yeah, absolutely. Cool.
So it's that easy. And I'm surprised that people don't do price increases more often. We're reluctant to do it. We think we're going to upset our clients. But realistically, our clients are seeing price increases in what they're paying for bread and petrol. And I mean, the petrol prices in this country go up and down like a yo-yo.
A cucumber's like $8.
Well,
it's ridiculous.
Tomatoes, $20 a kilo or something at the moment. Like tomatoes.
I know.
But here we are complaining about that, but we still buy them. And this is the thing, when people, most people are fairly loyal as well. One of the things about the beauty industry that's different to the hair industry, clients will follow a hairdresser. Not many clients follow a beauty therapist. They stay loyal to the salon, which is different to hair.
Yeah.
And in beauty, we see therapists leave and owners go, oh my God, you know, they were so popular. But in actual fact, very few people follow them. People are loyal in beauty. And for me, because of that, it's got to be some sort of really significant price rise for them to choose to take their business elsewhere. They're more likely to choose to go elsewhere because of poor service, or because you didn't keep in touch, or that they didn't feel like they were important. You know, they're reasons why they would change, rather for another local business, rather than a price rise of minuscule amount. Most clients, if they're happy in your salon and they're returning again and again and again, small incremental increases are not going to change their way of doing their habitual visits. So for me, that's why I always teach my salons that I coach how to put up their prices.
Cool. Thank you so much, Paul. Like I said at the beginning, I find that it's like, I hadn't heard about it before, and I found it really, really interesting. And so it's just amazing that you've shared your strategy with us today to help people out with this.
You can only do it, though. Yeah, keep in mind, you can only do it if you keep good records. So I'm presuming you're watching this because you're a Katoomba follower. And that's the secret. Pull your records so that you can see what you've been doing, and then you can test to see that it has or hasn't had an effect in the month or so afterwards.
Cool.
All right.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Paul.
My pleasure.
And we really, really hope that that really helps you guys watching to get some more ideas and get that kind of confidence to know that price increases are a must and to get started. But like I said, we're running a series at the moment, so there's already some other amazing content on our social media channels, and there'll be more to come over the coming weeks, so do make sure that you're following us. But thank you so much, Paul, for contributing to the series. We really appreciate it.
Pleasure. Bye.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.